What's up, guys? Maverick here, ready for episode 4 of March Comes In Like a Lion. So, with the last episode, well, if I'm being entirely honest, there's not that much to recap, right? So far, all of these episodes seem to be individual or separate from each other, insofar as it's really just telling more of the backstory. It's setting the stage to a certain extent, allowing us to know more about the characters that are around Ray, and also giving some hints of his past as well, like what shaped him into this way he is. Now, if we carry on with this pattern, I would expect this episode to continue and maybe introduce some of the other people who are beside Ray, like out of the three sisters. Perhaps we'll learn more about them. Maybe we'll learn more about his foster parents or about his original parents, or maybe in regards to his senpais, right? I really don't know. So, without further ado, let's just get into the episode. Alright, I skipped the opening part for this, and let's begin within the actual episode itself in 3, 2, 1, play. Ina. Alright, so, of course, that would mean we're getting with the sisters, right? Interesting. So, since this was a manga adaptation, this essentially means that at the very beginning, they've devoted each chapter to all these different people. Oh, chestnuts. Hmm. Hmm. Takashi. Takahashi? Takashi? Mindless, repetitive work. It's actually really cathartic to do those kind of work sometimes. Like I work in desk job most of the time. Literally, using my brain power, right? Sometimes it's nice to just, not think of anything and just let repetition take over. Definitely wouldn't want to make a career out of that, though. Hey, it sounds like a pretty good... sounds like a pretty good meal to me. Really?
3000円は超えるわよ。どこの料亭のお弁当よ。なんでよそんちのこのお弁当代でうちの食費から3000円も。うちなんて牛乳だってそこでの158円しか買ったことないのに。嫌よ。何よ。よその子って言うならにゃんたちだって桐山くんだってそうじゃん。何よ。お姉ちゃんばっかよその子にどんどんお金使って。姉ちゃんよその子なの？どこから来たの？お兄ちゃんじゃないの？
Although that is kind of a good point, though. Well, I mean, she didn't make it particularly for him, right? It's the same that they are eating. Stray kids as well. Nighttime. All right. Better get going, girl. Really, 10 o'clock? I should literally wait 4 hours. Oh, this is where... Hmm. Oh. Dang, he doesn't look... he doesn't look like a middle schooler at all. Hmm? Normally, a lunch should be given to the guy before his match, you know? But, oh well.
姉ちゃん聞くもん。どうして渡さなかったの？せっかく作ったのになんでって。
なんだ、
姉ちゃんにはわかんないもん。
なんで泣くんだ。
だってお姉ちゃん綺麗だもん。お料理だって上手だし、お姉ちゃんのお弁当ならきっと誰でも喜んで。
ゆうべもさっきまでだってあんなに嬉しそうだったのに。うん、帰ろう。帰ってなで食べよう。
Just
女の子ってわからない。
no, I think it's more that your own emotions are sort of fried, dude. Yep, I'm sure she knows what's going on.
渡せなかったのか。残念だったわね。頑張ったのにね。もう泣かないの。いいわよ。お姉ちゃんも渡せなかったこと。あるわよ。
Really?
姉ちゃんもあげるのあるの。あるよ。だよ。可愛いの作りたくて。頑張って練習。だからつい口出ししちゃった。なんか思い出しちゃった。ゆうべ私がひなに言ったことって、昔お母さんが私に言ったことと同じなの。ああ、親子なんだ。なんてね。らしいわね。お母さんが。あ、じゃあみんなで食べよっか。
Hmm.
食べたい？ああ、いっか。いいんすか？
Hmm. Definitely getting a fuzzy feeling from all this.
したよ。さあ食べよう。あれ、ミオたちどうしたの？お腹いっぱいで眠くなっちゃったのかな。
Uh, don't do it! It's poison!
まだこれ味見した？ううん。それは苦くて甘くて酸っぱくて、まさに初恋の終わりのような味がして。ひな、特訓しようね。うん。次こそ頑張るぞー。
Uh.
渡せなくて正解だったのかも。なんて、お姉ちゃんと桐山くんは思いましたとさ。
BS. Oh.
言えた。はい、勝ったの僕ですよ。うん、ああ、まあ現象としてはそうだ。
Hey, he's got shades now.
事実なんですけど。ああ、はいはい、わかりました。お前の勝ちでいいよ。これでお前の気が済むならな。何それ。でもああ仕方ねえな、ハイハイ的な物言い。さ、俺が先手な。で、俺が居飛車で、お前がもう一回一手損角代わりな。しかも何それ、俺ただの練習台じゃん。小さい小さいよ桐山。ことは急を要するんだ。一手損角代わりなんてこのままのさばらせておくわけにはいかないんだよ。じゃあ振り飛車させばいいじゃん。俺は居飛車党なんだよ。俺の苦手戦法をそのままにしておく。もういいよ。野球は一人で
This guy's actually quite funny.
だってなんか言ったら互いに高め合う貴重なライバルを失うことはお前の将棋人生において多大な損失なんだぞ。分かっているんだろう。
For real though,
桐山
this is a pretty good friend and rival to Ray.
むしろお前こそが探し出さねばならんのだ。一手損角換わり潰しの特攻。
Like,
そう二階堂ワクチンを。それを言うなら桐山ワクチンだろ。憧れなんだよ。二階堂ワクチンとか二階堂システムとか名前の入った技を後世に残すのがわかんないのかな。もうあるけどわかりたくもないよ。朝の9時にいきなりアポなしで現れ特効薬の開発だとか言われても、しかも俺オールラウンダーだからそれあんま関係ないし。聞いてる人の話。飯食いに行こう。
that doesn't sound like a stomach rumble at all.
チャチャッと食えるもん。そうだ、ネックバーガーはギガメックとか二階堂好きそうじゃんか。ギガメックか。いやよそ。桐山はいつも何食ってんの？俺は一人の時はパンとかニコニコ弁当とかメックとか吉田屋の牛丼とかかな。ああ、でも最近は時々知り合いの家で晩ご飯を食べて。
Hmm?
おもちゃん
Speaking of which,
どうしたの？お姉ちゃんたちは？
Bo- Bodoro?
桐山、知り合いか。今確かボドロとこの者が叫んだように聞こえたのだが、ボドロってあれであろう？子供から大人まで大人気の俺も大好きなあの名作アニメに出てくる
Totoro? Alright.
神秘的な、まあ知的という部分では浅からぬつながりを。
Yeah, whatever you say.
名を聞こう。名をなんという？よし、ではももくん、手をつなごうではないか。往来は車が行き交い変だからな。
Well, if anything, at least he's a pretty good brother character.
ももちゃん嬉しそうだな。俺といるより。お家はどこなのかね。送って行こう。
桐山くんと一緒だ。桐山くん。レイくん、そちらは？
あかりさん、顔が真っ赤なんですけど。まさかあかりさんのストライクってここなの？これはその将棋の部活の。はじめまして、桐山さんの親友二階堂春信と申します。
Hmm.
ご飯はもしよかったらあなたもいらっしゃらない？お姉ちゃんまたよその子を。
ありがたいお言葉ではぜひ喜んで。
This guy comes from a pretty well-off family, right?
ごめんなさい、桐山くん。
いや、ひなちゃんが謝ることでは。
Kintaro?
本当なんていうか、浜のように強い素晴らしいお友達ね。
浜のような友達の経験。そんなセリフ聞いたことねえ。
ごめん、お姉ちゃん、ふくふくには目がないの。本当にごめん。何が食べたい？今日は買い出しの日だったから、だいたい何でもできるわよ。唐揚げ？ハンバーグ？
ハンバーいえ、味でタンパク質控え。すいません。
Hmm. Okay, he probably has a...
まあ、そうな
He
の。
needs to
大人の味が好みなの。おかしいわ。その豊満なボディはそんなメニューでは維持できない。
watch his diet, basically.
ダイエット？いけないわ。そんなことしたらその玉のような美体が。でもそうよね。気にするわよ。
I mean, diet probably not for the sake of...
もしかしたらもっと事態は深刻。いけないわ。いくらふくふくが魅力でも健康でなければ
Maybe that's hitting the mark?
美味しいわ。あかりすまないね。それは言わない約束でしょ。
参ったよ、あかりさん。メロンもタケノコもいかんのだよ。もう何食ったらいいのか。お酒もダメだって。ほんの少しだけならだってさ。
まあ、山本様、お気の毒な。じゃあおつまみは私が。伊達に祖母の世話やお店でのトークに見た
Okay, okay.
わけじゃなくってよ。
Gambare?
さあどうぞ。二階堂
Hmm.
君は味付け自分で自由にしてみてね。
Yeah, that definitely seems pretty
美味しい。素味なのに。
light, I guess you could say.
食べてね。
Very traditional Japanese, though.
30回以上噛むように、じいやにもいつも言われているのですが、どうにも、せっかちで。
素敵な
Butler.
どなたかしらこんな時間に。
Probably the butler.
夜分大変失礼いたします。こちらでお坊ちゃまがお世話になっておりますようで。
おお、花岡、迎えに来てくれたのか。
ああ、二階堂君の。よくここがわかりましたね。
それはもちろん自由。おっと失礼。どうも機関士の具合がちょうどここを通りかかったもので。
じいやはいつだってどこにいても必ず迎えに来てくれるんだ。昔からそうだった。孫を
Yeah, you're being tracked, dude.
そうだ、2階だ。めっちゃ監視されてるんですけど、今その人 GPS って言った。
Yeah, he said it.
よろしかったら皆さんで。ご近所なのでもうご存知かもしれませんが、このお菓子私の大
And it happens to be the one that they are working at.
奇遇ですわ。私もこれ大好きなんです。すっごく。よかったらお上がりになって一緒に食べませんか？お茶入れます。
よろしいので。わ、
どうぞどうぞ。ひな、お祝い。
Alright. So it's like one big happy family now. Good for them. Alright, I feel like that's about it. I'll look at the preview and I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty, so as expected, these initial episodes are more of establishing the characters around Rei. So in this episode, for instance, we do have the majority of it focused on Hina, right? And I guess really it's just to establish their characters, their personalities, and so on and so forth. So I mean, it's not a sort of method that I've never seen before, and it does make the initial start of a series become a bit slower, right? Now, personally, I'm a fast reader, so when I read this kind of manga, I can just quickly go through it. In the anime case, well, we're stuck with the same episode, so it is what it is. Not really that much to talk about as well. You know, it's mostly focused on the different characters. I don't think they've strayed too much from the norm or ordinary. I mean, these are all archetypes that we would know already from various different animes and mangas and stuff. The only thing that I felt was a little bit peculiar to me is in the scene where Rei is talking with Hina, right, in the park, where he's kind of confused as to why Hina was crying there. So, I don't know, even for me, like, I'm normally a bit more reserved in emotions, right? I don't really have that big of a reaction, even in very sentimental scenes or whatnot. But it's not like I can't understand what they're feeling, right? I just don't feel the need or the impact that makes me want to really react in a very visible or a very high profile way. However, does Rain actually not understand these emotions? Because I would think it's quite obvious why Hina would be depressed or why she would want to cry. You know, lots of different factors here, right? Even beyond the one that she speak there. So I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, and it's just a very the work is just trying to depict a boy versus girl situation where maybe women are hard to understand, something like that. But I don't know. I just felt like that was a pretty peculiar line at that point to say, and it makes me think that maybe perhaps his own emotions are a little bit wacky, right? maybe due to either abuse or some other kind of trauma that he experienced in his childhood that caused his emotions to be sort of grown in a peculiar way, if you will. So that's probably the most interesting thing that I think I should take a note on from this episode, although I'm not really sure if that's what the episode was trying to portray here. Beyond that, not really that much else to talk about. One of you guys, I believe, blah 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 treatment, mentioned last episode how you liked the initial portrayal of Ray and his, his room, if you will, his flat, his loft. What's the normal description for it using English? His suite. So basically, you're a one room with with your kitchen, with a bathroom and whatnot, with a toilet and whatnot. No, I live in something similar as well, right? And I believe the commenter said that it reminded him of, or her, of initially living on their own and, not really having any furniture and living day to day, eating unhealthy food and whatnot. Now, personally, I was completely thrilled to go out and live on my own, right? So, like a lot of other kids in my country and probably in other countries as well, I left home when I started attending college, and well, when I first was able to get my own room, rent my own room, I was completely ecstatic, right? It's literally the first time that you can make decisions completely on your own how you want to decorate your room. Like, I remember I spent a lot of time poring over what kind of sofa I wanted, what kind of shelves I wanted, what kind of table I want, how I want to make the entire atmosphere, even decorations and whatnot. Although, to be fair, I did become lazy and skimp on the decorations at the very end, but it was fun. It was a very fun experience, and it just reminded me of this because in this episode, we see that Ray is going out and buying some actual curtains now in order to make it so that he's not, the sun isn't piercing directly at him every morning. And so I wonder if, in a certain kind of way, it's going to be sort of a metaphor for his own life as well. And as he fills his room with more things, it makes it more cozy, more homely, more colorful and whatnot. That also represents himself in life as well, because clearly we see right now even though honestly I feel like he's very loved and he's very lucky to have these people beside him. He's still sort of a shut-in, right? At least in terms of his heart. And I feel like maybe that is being reflected in his room as well. And as he opens up more and more, maybe his room will get more and more colorful and lively, which would be a pretty good parallel, I feel. So, there we go. That was episode 4 of March Comes In Like a Lion. Sorry I can't really say much else, but, these initial episodes, for you guys who've already seen it already, you probably have the same feeling that I have. So, in any case, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.